Mic check. Making a movie about race and racism in the state of Maryland. I am Dred Scott. We're going to talk about Chief Justice Towning and the rulings in the court. All right. We're going to talk about the criminalization of poverty. All right. How you reinvented slavery under the 13th Amendment using the illegal war on drugs. All right. We clear on this? And we'll use the 2018 legislative report card to show the racism in the party. All right. Racism don't work without black cooperation. Let's get that one straight. Just like Dred Scott. I'm a free man in one state and I'm a slave in another. At the end of the day, Dred Scott said that blacks are not citizens of the United States. And we are not citizens of the United States. We have no homeland. You feel me? We were brought here as property and we are still treated as property in 2019. Like I said, I'm making a movie about race and racism. You feel me? Race and racism. Now we're going to use my case from 1986 because it was about the war on drugs. N62528, State of Illinois versus Dwayne Davis. Google it. I turned in guns and drugs to the police at the police station to end the war on drugs in Lake County, Illinois. You locked me up and gave me 3 years in the penitentiary. I won my case on appeal because of the right to represent myself in a court of law. I came to Illinois in December of 2007 to file a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit against the state of Illinois for incarcerating me, members of my organization, and other people behind the war on drugs. You feel me? I wear my hood because I represent my hood from Baltimore to Zion, from California to New York, because the war on drugs affects the black community in any major city that's run by a Democratic Party. You want to talk about race and racism? Well, let's talk about Dred Scott, because that's the foundation of being black in America. And it's in the law books, and we still treat it as property. We traded the penitentiary for the plantation cotton for cocaine, and we the cash crop. Like I said, in December of 2007, I went to Waukegan, Illinois on vacation. It was Christmas. I went to file a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit, and you locked me up for 186 days and charged me with terrorism. I got out of jail and came back to Maryland and asked my Maryland delegates to defend me, but they didn't. Scott Shellenberger tried to get me locked up for the murder of Scott Greenberg. He tried to get me locked up for 8 other felony charges, and he tried to violate my probation from Illinois. He tried to get me lost in the system, what I was exposing about the war on drugs. I was showing the bail bondsman's industry. I was showing how you take fathers away from families. I was showing you how you make people homeless behind your illegal war on drugs. I gave you the bail bondsmen. I gave you the court calls. I gave you everything that you needed. I won my case, all right? On February the 2nd, 2011, I turned in Scott Shellenberger to Greg Bernstein and the city solicitor. I sent him into the Baltimore City Solicitor because I was a Baltimore City resident. I was kidnapped from my residency on February the 7th by the state of Maryland, the office of Scott Shellenberger and Chief Johnson. In 2006, I told y'all I was going after Chief Johnson, I was going after Scott Shellenberger, I was going after Gov.O'Malley in the mob machine because of the corruption and the racism in the courts. The dissent decree proved everything that I said, plus the film footage that I got for the last 13 years supports everything I've been talking about. You use mass incarceration in the 13th Amendment in the war on drugs to incarcerate the black community in Baltimore City and Baltimore County, and you use it to demonize us, to paint this picture of thugs. You feel me? I was Shorty's barbecue, man. I used that toilet as a prop for a movie. That's it. That toilet was exposing the corruption in the courts and the racism in the courts, and it still is. Y'all seen me last night. Y'all seen me in Baltimore City and Baltimore County, the best of both worlds. Johnny Oleski said he's going to ask the Department of Justice to investigate my incarceration. I want the county grand jury to investigate Scott Shellenberger for kidnapping, because I was kidnapped. On February the 7th, you kidnapped me. I had tickets to my mother's funeral on February the 10th, and I was supposed to return on February the 13th. And I had a case in Baltimore City for $54 million February the 24th, a civil case. You locked me up from filing that civil case and from dealing with that civil case about identity theft. The IRS asked for audit. If I was incarcerated in the state of Illinois for 186 days, my store should have been closed on Falls Road. I got sole proprietorship. Checks shouldn't have been written. Signatures was fraudulently written. You feel me? So you got to deal with that. I want to audit. If you want me to stop with the toilets, if you want me to stop with my protests, if you want me to stop with my activism, give me an audit, because money counts itself. And when the money get counted, we're going to show the role that y'all played in this. Now, Jane Miller, Stephen Janis, Barry Sims, mainstream media, y'all know the role that y'all played in it too, and y'all not going to hide behind the shielding law. So when I see y'all in the streets, understand this. Streets belong to me, just like the studios belong to you. When you're on the streets, I'm going to put the camera in your face and ask you some questions. And the public need to know. The voters need to know. When I see Pew, same thing to you. It was all good when you wanted to take photo ops with Shorty, when you wanted to give me awards and shit. I don't want awards. I want my life back. And I'm going to take my life back. You took photo ops with me, I'm going to use those photos for me. You feel me? We was all good a year ago. We ain't no good no more. You promised me access to the grand jury when we was in Annapolis and you was Senator Pugh. You said you was going to help me. You ain't did nothing to help me. Tax night coming up. I want to audit. The same way that you did to Sousa. I want to audit. I want to audit from the state and the federal government for 119050 Falls Road. I want to audit from 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010. I want everything that belongs to me. I'm going to keep playing with them toilets. Them toilets is props for a movie. The movie's called Letters Design. It's a legal movie. It was part of my activism and it was covered under my insurance. I was insured. Now, Al Redmer said, file a criminal in a civil case. Y'all won't let me in the court because the case involves Shellenberger and Bernstein and it involves Marilyn Mosby. I can't access to the court through those individuals because they're not going to let that case initiate. So I need a grand jury because I'm a whistleblower. Do what you got to do, but until I get what belongs to me, you seen me in them meetings. That ain't nothing. Dog, I'm going to shut shit down. And I'm going to do it live feed because, like I said, I'm filing for the 2019 Fellowship Award for the OSI. And we're talking about race and racism. We're talking about the good in the hood. So I'm going to make my case real strong. We're going to follow my journey for justice and see if blacks have rights or if we are really Dred Scott. We just property. Well, I want my property because I own Shorty. I own me. Might check that one. Do what you got to do, but for right now, you're going to have to adjust your dials. I don't know how to cut this off. I done messed up. Wow. Facebook did something that I can't even do my own live feeds. What's going on? Well, wow. I can't cut my live feed off. Shit. Facebook done jammed me up, y'all. I can't cut my live feed off. There you go. I'm done. Still ain't cut me off.